Hello, and welcome to the lore of Braunhaven. We are continuing our exploration of the town of Braunhaven itself, and today we're going to be talking about the All Faiths Temple. And so, this, of course, is the map of Braunhaven, and a couple of things to note is that this path here, at number 2, this path actually leads to the Imperial Tradeway, while number 3 down here to the east leads to the Eastern Tradeway, and then number 4 leads out of town to the Barbarous Trade Bridge, and that then continues up into the Skellis Mountains, and there's actually another village up there. A little distance from the town of Braunhaven called Stagholm, and that will be detailed, of course, in the future. But here at number 5, we have the All Faiths Temple, and so, of course, with the Cracker Bottoms rebuilding the Braunhaus coaching inn here at number 1, the people of the region started to filter back into the town after it was noted that the Braunhaus was actually quite popular again, and so they started to filter back in what few people were remaining after the decimation of the. I guess decimation isn't quite the right word. After 2/3 of the population was killed off in the plague, and so of course they went about to being a pious, not necessarily pious, but they are religious people. They went about next doing a public works project to group together and renovate the temple. Now, the All Faiths Temple, since its inception, its name literally is what the temple does. It both ministers to the old gods and the council of the 12 elder gods, and so all religion is represented. Well, not all religion. Vuslux is not represented, but all of the legitimate religion is represented in the All Faiths Temple. Now, the townsfolk, or those that came back, started to renovate the temple, but there wasn't a cleric among them. They didn't even have an acolyte, and so for quite some time, the All Faiths Temple was more or less just a place where people could go in quiet reflection. They didn't have services as such because there was nobody to minister to the faithful until a druid came into town. Now, of course, druids are the religious leaders of the old gods, and so this gentleman's name was Fellister Ainsworth, and he could see that the town was in need of some kind of pastor or some ministration for the church, and so he took over those duties. Fellister Ainsworth is a 5th level druid. He does the best that he can. Now, of course, he spends a lot of his time reading some of the old texts about about the Council of the 12 Older Gods, since his bailiwick is really the old gods, and he knows a lot about them. But he has spent some time going over the scriptures and whatnot of the Council of 12 Elder Gods so that he can adequately give services to everybody. And he is a very, very nice man, although he is neutral in alignment. So, and that's not to say that he's selfish in any way, but he is. He doesn't ascribe to law or chaos. He's kind of in the middle, but he is a good person. Being only 5th level, he is a bit limited as to what he can do. But for a small donation, he can offer some healing to the people in the region, because he does have Cure Light Wounds and Cure Serious Wounds as as spells that he can cast, along with Speak with Animals and Animal Friendship. And so there are usually around the All Faiths Temple there are usually a number of wild animals, usually in the form of birds, crows, but there are deer, and he's able to help the farmers in assisting their animals as well as the people. Now, this is the interior of the church, and um, it is a fairly simple affair. So there is a second floor, and it should be noted that at night, after dark, because there are so many bandits, and just across the river, of the Great River, there is of course the Rok-Skull orc tribe that has set up camp there. So after dark, things can be a bit dangerous, and it is known that Fellister Ainsworth does lock the front main temple doors at night after dark, but the back door is usually left unlocked if there is some need for a townsperson to come in. He does leave that back door unlocked. So there's the thought process on this is that there's essentially a one way in and out, limiting chances of a raid, so to speak. And there are, of course, a number of pews. And in the center, of course, is a large marble pew. And set into the front of this large marble pew is a platinum holy symbol of Janus. And it is quite large. It's, probably close to a foot in diameter. And it is set directly into the front marble. Janus, of course, being the king of the gods of the Council of 12 Elder Gods. Now, there is a circular staircase that leads up to the second floor, and the second floor is given over to the to living space for the father of the church. Fellister Ainsworth has taken on he hasn't really officially taken on the title, but the people of the town refer to him as Father Ainsworth. And so, whether he has decided to take on that title or not, that's how the people refer to him. And so there is living space upstairs on the second floor of the All Faiths Temple for him. There are also some additional rooms, usually set aside for acolytes and what would be acolytes or assistants, and so far those rooms are still empty. Probably used mostly for storage. There is some hope of course, in the future that there will be more of the faithful that will take up the holy calling and assist Father Ainsworth. But until that time, he is the only one. So in this main chapel area, there are these two large braziers that are usually lit with bricks of incense during times of worship. And he gives services every day, and then over here in this corner, there's another circular staircase that descends. Now, when the All Faiths Temple was initially built, one of the practices was that there would be, of course, an undercroft. And I guess they call it an undercroft, but it's a bit misleading. An undercroft is assumed to be slightly larger than a basement, but this is actually quite vast. And the practice at the time was that there would be people of important nature would be buried in the undercroft, and the undercroft is quite large. It hasn't been entirely explored by Father Ainsworth or most of the townspeople. But it is thought to connect to much deeper catacombs that go much further into the past of Braunhaven, and the townspeople just simply haven't explored this. But Father Ainsworth has gone down into the undercroft a bit. The first section, immediately at the bottom of the stairs, is used generally for storage. He keeps, the sundries of a church, holy water, and there are crates full of reclaimed religious texts and of course candles. And there are some crates of vestments, basic, probably some foodstuffs too, since he lives here. But it's just basic sundries and stuff. And then there is, of course, a door that leads into the main undercroft itself. And he has ventured in there a bit, but it is, even for a faithful druid, it tends to be a bit of a scary place. And Father Ainsworth, he has done some adventuring in his life, mostly on accident. He's not really of the adventuring spirit. He wants to spend time ministering to the people. He wants to spend time, with his head buried in a book or out in nature, um, basically communing with his faith. And so he's not of the adventuring type, and he finds the undercroft of the temple to be curiously creepy. He has heard sounds off in the echoing in the distance, and of course it's very dark down there. And so he ventured in a ways, and he did attempt to clean up some of the tombs that are down there, but for the most part, he got creeped out and came back up, and he hasn't been down again since. Now, there are rumors in the town currently and people are a bit unnerved, curious, maybe a little spooked. Late at night, people have said that they have witnessed flickering candlelight, torchlight, or a lantern moving about through the windows of the All Faiths Church. And this is happening much later than it would be for Father Ainsworth to be moving about. Everybody knows he tends to be he turns in early, and he wouldn't be meandering around with a candle at 2 or 3 bells in the morning. And yet people have witnessed this, or claim to have witnessed it. And so there is some concern and speculation as to what exactly is in there, and the rumors range everywhere from unsettled spirits to a malevolent will-o-wisp, to perhaps that there is an undead that has come up from the undercroft and is searching the halls of the temple for something. Nobody knows what it is, but they have, of course, the people of the town would like for somebody to investigate. And so this is, of course, one of the hooks that you can use to get your party involved, and really start setting roots in the town. So that is the All Faiths Temple. And next week we're going to be talking about the blacksmith and the armorer. They are the Billet brothers, Stonesy and Anvil Billet, a pair of dwarves. So catch us next time. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.